Hi, welcome to a special edition of the Pullist Examiner. Today I'm going to look at my top 10, or at least 10 covers from the Bearded and Cole's Comic Cover Challenge, which is looking specifically at villains on covers. So I got my Batman Rogues Gallery t-shirt on and I'm ready to go. I've got 10 comics, maybe a few extra, picked out that I'm going to share with you. So stay tuned as we take a look at my comic villain cover picks. So first we're going to take a look at Deathstroke issue number 1 from the new series. I believe this is a Matina cover. I just thought this was an amazing Deathstroke cover, and talk about one of those villains, not villains. Are they a villain? Are they an anti-hero? He's kind of fits that bill sometimes, but in this series he starts out a hero, and no spoilers, we'll just say he doesn't stick to that path for long. But if you're not a Snyder Cut fan, I apologize, but I am a big fan of the Snyder Cut. That Justice League that we got this last year was amazing, and Zack Snyder did an awesome job with his trilogy that he had, and there's people who are still fighting to try and get more movies. We'll see if that'll pan out. I'm guessing it won't, but that'd be kind of cool to see that futuristic Batman that has to fight off Darkseid. But on this cover, along with the movie that came out, the Snyder Cut, you got this awesome version of Steppenwolf, and then here you've got some heroes who are ready to battle them off. Now we're going to take a look at some old school covers, villains. First I'm going to start off with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 1. You've got some awesome Shredder action going on here. I believe this is the Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird cover that was done, but for the series that was more based on the cartoon. I had to get Kingpin in here somehow. I was debating which Kingpin cover to do, but this one here is done by John Romita Jr. And if you're a fan of Daredevil, you know this is the Man Without Fear. It's got some pretty slick foil cover going on as well, but that is some classic looking Kingpin drawn with that blocky John Romita art style. This whole series was awesome, but I just thought that's a cool villain cover right there. I'm going to cheat on this one so that I can get more than 10 comics in. I don't think the rules are too strict. David Finch is an awesome artist. If you haven't seen his drawing shows he does on YouTube, you should check him out. He will actually go through 2 hours worth of illustrating and showing you exactly how he's doing his drawing. But the Tom King run of Batman had this amazing Bane cover during, I think it was issue 20, where the subtitle of the current plot run was I Am Bane, and later on Bane comes back as Tom King is about to exit writing the series, and there's some cool covers on that end too. But this Finch cover where it's zooming in on Bane, his mask is torn off, Batman's fending him off kind of at the bottom there. I thought that was a great cover. And then recently Finch did this variant cover for the Joker issue number 3 that, again, it's drawn in the style of a Joker card, but you got this amazing Joker face that was done on there. I just thought that was an awesome cover. One of those comics that I probably would have picked up even if I wasn't reading the series, but luckily this was a good series and I was reading through that as well. Next up, more Batman. This is the Snyder Capullo run of the book called Batman Last Night on Earth, night with a K, and this is issue number 2, I believe, and this is one of the creepiest villains that I think are in the Rogues Gallery. By the way, I have my Rogues Gallery shirt on for Villain video here. You've got what is basically Scarecrow getting a piggyback ride from Bane, and Scarecrow has some creepy long fingers. If you haven't read this series, it's set in a post-apocalyptic future. There's spoilers I won't give away, but it is a very unique take on the future of Batman. I had to get some Darth Vader in here at some point. Inhyuk Lee has done a series of covers for the new Darth Vader run. Issues 1 through 7, 8, something like that, were all him, and they were all awesome covers, to be honest. But this one, I thought, hey, I'm getting a two for two villains. You have Palpatine and you've got Vader, and they're not getting along so well here, but I thought that was a cool cover. I think this may actually be a key issue too. I remember this being hard to get. Luckily it was on my pull list and it showed up in my pull box, but cool cover with Vader getting zapped by his boss. So next one, another old school one, is an Erik Larson classic. Erik Larson took over from McFarlane on the Amazing Spider-Man run, did several, I think it was 3 or 4 storylines up through the issues 320 through 50, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but this was the return of the Sinister Six, which all had cool Erik Larson covers. Pretty much anytime he draws a cover, it's cool, but I thought this was awesome because you got the whole Sinister Six ganging up on Spidey, and it even says the Battle Royale starts, so it's a cool cover. Mysterio, Sandman, Vulture, Electro, Hobgoblin, and Doc Ock all trying to take down your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Even though this kind of hasn't been in any order, we're down to 3 here that I would pick as some of my top ones. I'm going to start with Green Lantern issue number 43 that came out during the Blackest Night storyline. This is actually considered the prologue, and you have this very amazing picture of Black Hand, another villain in the Green Lantern universe, sitting on top of Bruce Wayne's grave site. This was a pretty cool cover, I thought, and an interesting, what you think is minor villain ends up becoming kind of a big part of Blackest Night. So, if you heard, Marvel made this movie about the Infinity Gauntlet, but they were kind of popular, and this book came out many years ago, and Thanos holding the Infinity Gauntlet, Mephisto kind of hanging out in the background. I just think this is an amazing, iconic villain cover. Cool and great looking villain cover that was done very well. Lastly, I've been saving this for last. This is kind of the best for last. If you have not seen this cover, hopefully you're stayed tuned through the end of my video to see. This was a variant cover done on the most recent Green Lantern series. It's black and white, and it's done by Marco Santucci, who, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. He is an Italian artist and does various comics. Mostly I've seen his work over at DC. He did work on the Green Lantern run, but has done work on other DC titles as well. But this Sinestro cover was amazing. I saw this sitting on the rack at the store, and I was tempted to buy more than one. It's just an awesome Sinestro cover. Thanks for watching my picks for villain covers with the Bearded and Cole's Comic Cover Challenge. If you liked what you saw, click the like button, subscribe, and I also highly recommend hopping over to Bearded or Cole's channel. I know Cole has this great playlist of everyone who he knows of that has submitted this challenge, and you can go watch other people giving their explanations and covers, and it's just really fun to look at all the covers that people are digging out of their personal collections, some unique, some odd, some crazy, some very masterfully drawn. You get everything across the spectrum, so it's pretty cool. So remember to read them, bag them, board them, and we'll see you next time.